Well, a very warm welcome to Lords for the review here. Australia dismantling New Zealand here and winning and getting 2 more points. I've got 2 gentlemen beside me. Michael Slater, big grin. Brendon McCullum looking chipper.
I don't feel chipper right at this moment, but look, I think what we saw from today was very, very impressive Australia. New Zealand rocked them early, and I thought right at that moment in time there was an opportunity for New Zealand to really go for the jugular, but I think they just backed off a touch, and that was a worrying concern for me. But then what happened after that was Australia really, I guess, just flexed their muscle a bit and showed everyone at this World Cup how dominant a team they are if you give them an inch.
Well, Baz, as I said, 92 for 5, they rock them, and you said it maybe let them off the hook a little bit. What would you like them to have done in that situation?
Well, we were pretty vocal about it throughout the commentary box to Michael Clark as well. And myself, I just felt that was the opportunity for Trent Boult to come on, try and attack the 2 left-handers. He is their premier fast bowler. It's his responsibility when you've got a team on the ropes to put him away. Instead, they let the game just meander along a little bit. They bowled a little bit of spin, a little bit of part-time stuff, and they allowed Kerr and also Khawaja to just settle and to develop a partnership. And in the end, 243 is a pretty good score on that wicket.
Slats, first 5 wickets to fall. Australia in a bit of strife. Just talk us through these wickets.
Yeah, look, they were in a lot of strife, and I didn't mind that they got themselves into strife because I think the middle order of this Australian team has needed testing. But there was some good hostile bowling from Ferguson. That was his first delivery to Warner. Then this was just a phenomenal catch. Guptill had dropped 2 at that point, and then he pulls off one of the best of the tournament. And there was just enough going on out there. I think the players, particularly in the captain's chat there, said that it wasn't great batting conditions at time, a little bit slow, a little bit too paced. And so when the bowlers got it in the right area, you didn't really feel in, and that's why credit goes to Kerr, and that's why he was player of the match. Khawaja batted for a long time. It was almost the perfect scenario, and it was dictated because of those wickets. But Kerr came and made it look like a different pitch, didn't he? The way he was middling the ball, and he's a terrific player.
What about Usman Khawaja? Because a lot have been mentioned about Usman Khawaja, batting number 3, batting ahead of Stevenson, maybe not getting as many runs as he would like. Played well today.
Yeah, he played really well. The other thing he did is he was able to find some scoring areas against the spin, and no one else was really able to do that barring Kerr. And the reason was that he was prepared to reverse sweep the ball against the spin. We saw right through the New Zealand innings that they weren't prepared to play those sort of inventive types of shots, and in the end were reduced to having to try and smear the ball against the spin, whereas Khawaja chose really good options, and I thought he was a guy who allowed Australia to settle. And then once they settled, Alex Kerr came out and played a fantastic innings.
Slats, Alex Kerr has been very impressive. Good behind the stumps, doing a good job leading the side in the field. Excellent last couple of games with the bat. Yeah,
he's an immense talent. And I think he's worked himself into this Ashes squad at the end of the World Cup. Right. I mean, that's the word on the street is that Payne will still captain and he'll still be the keeper, but he's going to be in that Ashes squad because of what he's doing here. He's vice-captain as well, so he's a young man with leadership qualities. He's taken a catch today, one of the highest sky balls you've ever seen. He couldn't believe he held on to it. But this batting skill that he possesses is one that is craftsmanlike, but it doesn't take him any deliveries to hit the ball out of the middle. He seems to be a phenomenal timer of the ball, and I love the areas he hits as well. He's one of those lefties. He's hard to bowl to.
Very hard to bowl to. Been excellent the last couple of games. Now, New Zealand bowler was excellent. Trent Boult, another hat-trick in his career. Fantastic.
Yeah, he was really, really good, especially the ability to reverse swing the ball late. But I just felt, these are great wickets, and this hat-trick was well-deserved. Shades of Wasim Akram. Go back to the yesteryear, he was very, very good, got the ball dipping in late. But I just, again, if he was able to come in and try and attack the stumps when they had Australia on the ropes, there's no reason why he can't do this. His level of execution is outstanding. And yes, he's bowling to some of the tail enders here and he's been able to remove them. Ask him to do it against the Australian batsmen who were under pressure at that point in time. New Zealand missed the trick today, and that, I think, is going to cost them in the end.
Would you second that, Slats? You think Australia, shoe in the other foot, Stark might have come on that position, 92 for 5. They may have brought Stark on to try and blow away the tail.
Well, they have been. Finch has been doing that, and that's why Stark has been bowling in 3 spells. Cummins has been bowling in 3 spells. It might be that up front they bowl 3. Very rarely maximum 4, depending on what their wicket-taking ability is like. You saw Finch bowl Berendorf 9 overs.
Yeah.
So Finch has used Stark and those strike bowlers perfectly. I think strategy-wise, he's one of the strongest captains. And now the bowling lineup looks like it's more balanced than it was previous. And Lyon only got the 1 wicket, 1 for 30-odd, and he was able to set things up at the other end. So, look, I think Finch bringing those bowlers back has been brilliant.
Would you agree with that, Baz? A lot of good captains around. Aaron Finch getting a lot of plaudits. Easy when your side is playing well, isn't it?
Yeah, look, to be honest, I was a bit scathing. Not scathing is the wrong word. I was a bit critical of him at one stage today because I thought he was guessing a little bit too.
With those one-overs.
When the one-overs, he bought himself, he bought Smith, he bought Maxwell. And then it wasn't until he then went back to his main bowler, once he had tried that little gamble, went back to Mitchell Starc. Mitchell Starc gets out Kane Williamson, and then we just saw a procession of wickets. So I think he stumbled on his success plan right at that point in time. But I will agree that he is a very, very good tactician. And now with the balance of their lineup with Nathan Lyon in there, could not agree more with Slates that they, to me, look like a really, really well-balanced bowling attack.
If we take a look through some of the wickets and have a look at, is it good bowling, poor batting, combination of both?
Oh, look, that's unlucky. I mean, you get out and you feel really bad when you've caught up with it and you glove it. But, yeah, it's execution. That's not a bad delivery. Okay, you can give that to the bowler. Guptill had a big day out. That was a loss of concentration. And then I think there was a couple of hack shots that just shouldn't have been played.
Well, at that stage, it was a run of ball for New Zealand, and they needed someone to bat big and take some responsibility. Ross Taylor had been pegged down a little bit, and then we just saw, I mean, that was
first ball faced.
This first ball that he faced, it was brainless, really, against the part-time option of Steve Smith. That was brilliant. Steve Smith, you can't keep him out of the game. Even if he doesn't get runs, he was brilliant in the field. And I think in the end, it was just a matter of New Zealand were frustrated out and they played some poor shots, and it's a performance they'll be very disappointed with.
So you need, in a run chase like that, you need the cameo. You need someone up front just to take on some good calculated risks to get things going. I think if you try and pace yourself to 244 and victory and just get there in the 50th, then you can get bogged down too easily, and then you lose that flow of an innings. And when you try and get it going, it's hard to find another 2 gears. So someone had to take it on, but in a lot more of a smart manner. Yeah. I thought they lost their way and then panicked.
Well, we've had a look at the scorecard here. Martin Guptill, 20 off 43. I'm not accustomed to seeing Martin Guptill. Nichols, 8 off 20, strangled down the leg side. Williamson, 40 off 51. And then Ross Taylor, 30 off 50. Nobody got going. And is that backing up Michael Slater's point that maybe a little bit too cautious, Baz?
Yeah, too timid for my liking. I think that's spot on. The conditions were tough, make no bones about that. They were difficult. That's why I thought 240 was a very good score. Have to agree. You have to almost wrestle the momentum back a little bit, knowing that 240 was going to be good. It was going to slow up late. It was going to spin. We saw that. In the end, it was death by paper cuts, for want of a better term, because they just literally didn't play too many shots. And it just was frustrated into playing poor options against I guess the stranglehold of Australia.
Stark's fifer.
Yeah.
There's no other bowler in World Cup history who got 3 fifers in World Cup. So we got 1 in 2015. He's got 2 now in this one. He's got 24 wickets. The most wickets in a World Cup is 26, Glenn McGrath.
Yeah.
So he's going to go to the top of the list at the end of this World Cup.
And Nathan Lyon, 1 for 35 off 10. Almost unnoticed, but another good job with the ball for Nathan Lyon. Let's have a look at that result and let's see how it affects the points table. Australia, as we know, already qualified. They qualified before this game, but sitting pretty at the top, 14 points. New Zealand still in a good position. Huge game tomorrow. India obviously taking on the hosts, England and Birmingham. But Pakistan, after their win, have snuck into 4th position and just created a little bit more pressure on England.
Yeah. Look, I said on commentary, like a week ago, we thought we'd locked in the 4, and it was just a case of, all right, they might shuffle, it might be 1v4, that might change up the semis. But it's changed on its head, turned on its head in the last week. And now England are out of that top 4. You've got Bangladesh who are hovering, and now you've got Pakistan in the 4. I mean, I love what's happened in the last week, so there's so much to talk about. That game tomorrow, it'll be watching it from start to finish.
Well, you'll be watching from start to finish. Tell me, give me a little thoughts on tomorrow's game. I'll put you on the spot here in Lords.
Well, look, England, they're going to have to. I want them to be brave, though. They've played brave cricket since the last World Cup. Now's the time when everything is on the line for them to really grab a hold of that. Go out there, be brave. Don't worry about if it doesn't work out, and try and take the ball by the horns. Fate is still in their hands. They need to ensure that they stand up and perform.
Well, one of your best mates is captain, so I'm sure you'll be on the text night telling no one to be brave. Listen, it's been wonderful. Thank you very much for your time this evening. Absolutely fantastic game here, Lords. Australia winning easily. Keep following on social media. Hashtag CWC19. We've had a great day. I hope you have too. Goodbye.
Australia and New Zealand, trans-Tasman rivals who know each other so well.
You should call me before I go, 'cause I got options, don't think I don't. There's something good though, and feeling more. You should call me before I
And a huge wicket for New
go.
Zealand.
Stand by. There's a million other people here tonight. You know I could have a good one if I lie. Yeah, you ain't gonna learn to love me, that's no lie. I can't stay on standby.
Brilliant bowling. The big scalp of Williamson.